Hey guys, so it is currently the afternoon. Kids are playing in their rooms. We'll see if they come running through here in a minute or not, but I wanted to take you guys along with us this week just so you guys can see some tidbits of what our typical week looks like. We honestly don't get out much. We may get out once or twice during the week on a typical week. Most of our days are just spent at home, and some days are very repetitive. Some days look a little different, and I thought I would just take you guys along with us just so you can see what our typical week looks like. I've got my matcha. If you get to know me at all, you will probably discover that I love a good drink treat, which I don't think I'm alone in that, but I'm currently on a matcha kick, which I've been on a matcha kick for several months now. I love a good coffee, a good latte, but matcha has been where it's at, and I actually have enjoyed it a lot more energy wise. I haven't gotten as jittery as I do from like a coffee or a latte, though decaf comes in handy quite often. So I've got my big homemade from home matcha, and it's actually funny because at least coffee shops around here tend to sweeten their matchas or don't make them quite as strong as I would like. So I actually love making my matchas from home. It saves some money, and I'm also able to add as much matcha powder as I would like to my drink and make it just to my liking. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Okay, so I also want to take you guys along this week on my sourdough journey. So I've done sourdough in the past. I would not say that I'm the best at it. I've made some good loaves. I've made some pretty sad loaves. Definitely still in the beginner intermediate phase, I would say. We have a love-hate relationship, and this sourdough starter has been in the fridge for 8 months, I believe. It's still good. It's gonna take some time to revive. It's got like that black liquid on the top. I don't even know if you can see it right here, so I'm going to dump that out. But other than that, like, it's actually in really good shape. It does keep well in the fridge for a long time because we have had many breakups over the past couple of years, and I thought I would start trying my hand at it again, and we'll see how it goes. I've actually been inspired. I've seen some tips because I really struggle with the bulk ferment, knowing when it's ready. And I've looked up so many tips and tricks, and I just never seem to be able to get it right, or at least I'm not confident in if I'm actually proofing it. I think I usually end up slightly overproofing, which I hear is better than underproofing. If you got any tips, let me know. But I did see this one tip, a bulk fermentation tip. So, but for now, I'm gonna dump this nasty black water off from the top, and I'm going to feed it, and it's obviously going to take a few days. We'll see how many days it takes to get it back active and bubbly, and then maybe by the end of the week we'll be able to try out our first loaf this go around. So wish us luck. Phone has died, it's recharged, and a baby has joined the hip. But we got our sourdough starter fed. As you probably saw in the video, I was mixing up the flour and the water in the original jar, and I realized how disgusting it was. Just caked up flour on the sides, and so I figured we would start with a brand new fresh jar. So I transferred all of that over, and I just put a coffee filter with a little ring on top. And this is just gonna live on my windowsill, and I will feed it every day over the next few days. And hopefully in the next, I don't know, would you say 2 or 3 days, it would start to get bubbly. And maybe by the end of the week, we'll see, fingers crossed, we will be able to bake a loaf off from this sourdough starter. So yeah, I'm hopeful, and I will keep you guys updated this week. All right, so it's the afternoon again. I've got a baby at my feet, so if you hear any noise, that's what that is. The older kids are in, she might bump that table too, that the tripod is on. But the older kids are in the room for a little bit of playtime and quiet time this afternoon. But it's been a productive morning so far. So we woke up, we were able to get a good breakfast, get our farm chores done. We did some homeschooling this morning, and I was able to get some food prepped. I made a pasta salad that we actually had for lunch today, but hopefully it will last us over the next couple of days for lunches. And I was able to prep or get some yogurt started in our Instant Pot with some raw milk that we pick up from a local farm. We actually have our own dairy cow, but she is a little over a year old, and so she actually hasn't been bred yet. And so we're hoping to get her bred in the next handful of months and have her calf and get some milk of our own. But for now, the local farm not too far from us has been very great to have around for yogurt and milk and all the things. So we've enjoyed that a lot. I was also able to check on my sourdough starter, and it was not bubbly today, which I was not expecting it to be, but I did feed it again, and we'll check on it again tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow, if not tomorrow, then the next day we'll start to see a little more activity from it. So for now, I think I'm gonna make me my afternoon matcha latte, and the house is a little out of sorts, so I'm gonna take some time to do a quick pickup while the kids are occupied in their rooms, and yeah, just get ready for a good rest of our day. Good morning. We just finished breakfast not too long ago. The kids are in the back room having loads of fun, I'm sure. But I wanted to update you guys on the sourdough. So it's actually been a couple of days since I've filmed feeding the starter. I did not want to bore you guys with the daily feedings, but I think we have reached our active peak bubbliness. I don't know if it's even worth trying to show you guys. Let's see. So I think we have achieved what we've been working towards, very bubbly. It actually started, I think it probably was good yesterday, but I fed it one more time for good measure. And so today we're gonna try to bake a loaf, or at least get started. It might end up in the fridge for a cold proof at the end, just depending on how things time out today, because we do have school to do. We've got to run a couple errands in town, and so if it doesn't time out right, then I might just pop it in the fridge. I've got to be somewhere later tonight. So anyways, probably not the best day to try our hand at a loaf for the first time in a very long time, because it is a busier day, but I'm just too excited. I can't wait, and so I'm going to bring you guys along with me, and it's right here. You can help me here. Help me push it. Yeah? Okay, I love you. But yeah, so I wanted to bring you guys along with me today, and we'll see if we can get a good loaf. So all of this might just be just to have an overproofed loaf of bread, but hey, it'll make some good breadcrumbs. just now finishing up my last stretch and fold, and I wanted to share the trick that I mentioned earlier in this video with you guys that I saw online, and I'm hoping that it will help me determine when my bulk fermentation is done, because that's what I've always struggled with. Sometimes I won't let it ferment long enough or proof long enough, and it'll be my bread will be underproofed, and then sometimes I'll let it sit out too long and then it'll be overproofed, which is usually the case. So I saw this trick online. I don't know where I saw it. I saw it in a few places, and you take your dough right here and you take a piece off, and maybe this method has a name. So if you've seen this method done before, let me know if it actually has a name. But you pull a piece of dough off and you add it into like a room temp cup of water, and the dough should sink when you first add it in, and when the dough is aerated or proofed long enough, then it should rise to the top. And so when that piece has risen to the top of the water, then you should know that your dough is also finished. So we're gonna try it. If it works, great. I do feel weird about pulling a piece of dough off from, which I'm gonna do right now, it doesn't take much, pulling a piece of dough off from my loaf, which the loaf actually feels a little sticky, a little wet, but I think it'll be fine. It definitely has lots of bubbles in it, so that's exciting. Anyways, I feel weird pulling dough off from, a little piece off from my loaf, but for the sake of the test, and if this will help me learn how to proof things a little more easily, then I'm willing to do it. So yeah, here we go. We're gonna take it and we're going to just drop it into the water. Oh, okay, and it does. Excuse the messy hands. It sinks. So we will see if it rises. I'll check back in with you guys. I'm gonna cover this bowl right here with a damp cloth. I really think it'll rise fast. So this time of year, a few weeks, like late August, early September, it gets hot, like right about now, for about 3 or 4 hours, like hot in this house. It's just an older home, and so the AC doesn't always keep up, which is okay, but I do think that this will not take too long to roughly double in size. So we will check back in and see if our little ball of dough rises in the water and if the trick actually works. I will say baking is not gonna happen today. I just had too much going on. My stretch and folds got spaced out a lot more than they typically would. So after this step, I'm going to shape it and put it in the fridge. But yeah, I've got dinner going. We're gonna have some roast tonight for dinner, so I'm excited about that. I love a good roast. Yeah, I think that's it for the rest of our evening. So we're gonna watch some bread, hopefully rise, and get dinner finished up here in the next little bit. Okay, so it is a new day, and yesterday's bread adventures were very, very interesting. I have not baked the loaf today. I'm actually preheating the oven now, and my loaf is in the fridge, so we'll check on that soon. And I hope it just bakes. I hope it's edible. It was very, very sticky yesterday. I don't know if I overproofed or underproofed or what went wrong, honestly. It was so hot in our house late afternoon when the bulk ferment was happening. And so I really only gave it about 3.5 hours for it to bulk ferment, which seems like a very short amount of time. And so maybe it was underproofed. But my little piece of dough in the cup rose to the top. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I feel like that test with the dough and the water did not give us a good indication on when the bulk ferment was actually finished. But I don't know if it actually underproofed or if it overproofed. I feel like we will be able to tell a little more once we cut into the bread and look at the crumb. Would that be able to tell us? Like I said, I'm still pretty new at it. This by far has been the most challenging in terms of being able to work with the dough. It was very, very, very sticky, very wet, which I was looking up some videos after the fact, and I saw that sticky, wet dough isn't necessarily a bad thing. I don't know if mine really falls in that category or not. I don't know. I'm not feeling very confident about it, but we'll see how it bakes up. I will keep you guys posted with the final bake outcome. But for now, while the oven preheats, I'm gonna do a quick pickup in the kitchen after lunch and get me a cup of coffee because I need it. Okay, so my dough was in the fridge overnight and my oven is preheated, so I'm going to dump this out onto my baking mat. I'm not really sure what this is called, but I'm gonna put it on here, score it. Hopefully it will keep its shape and get it into the Dutch oven and bake. Okay, so cutting into this labor of love, this loaf definitely did not get a very good rise, so I was definitely interested to see how the inside turned out. And honestly, it was not as bad as I thought it would be. I was expecting a giant hole in the middle or for it to be super dense. It was a tad bit gummy, but overall it really was not that bad. You'll have to let me know where the problem went. Is it underproofed, or is my starter just too weak? Should I have given it a few more days? Regardless, it tasted very, very yummy and my family devoured it. And I plan on trying another loaf. I actually made double the batch next time, but I do plan on trying again very soon.